You've done this today. Maybe this morning. You tapped your card. You checked your balance. You sent money to someone without thinking twice. It felt completely normal. Because it is normal. For now. But there is a system being built right now, quietly, across more than 130 countries, that would give governments and central banks the ability to decide when your money works, where it works, and whether it works at all. Not a conspiracy, not a prediction, a policy announcement, with a timeline, with pilots already running. And the part that should stop every Christian in their tracks is that this wasn't a surprise. Not to John. Not in 95 AD on the island of Patmos. He wrote it down. Exactly. This video is about what's being built, how close it is, and what a 2,000-year-old text understood about it before any government put it in a policy document. For most of human history, money was physical. You could hold it, hide it, give it to someone without anyone else knowing. Even after paper money, even after credit cards, even after digital banking, the underlying assumption stayed the same. The money is yours. You decide what to do with it. But something has been changing. Not dramatically. Not all at once. In increments small enough that most people haven't noticed the direction. Cash transactions are declining in every developed country. Several nations have already eliminated large cash denominations. And in the background, quietly, a new kind of money is being designed. One that works very differently from anything that came before it. It's called a central bank digital currency, a CBDC. And understanding what it actually is, not the press release version, the technical version, is what this video is about. A central bank digital currency is not like the money in your bank account right now. When you have a balance in your bank, you have a claim on a private institution. The bank owes you that money. You can withdraw it as cash. You can move it. The bank can fail. A CBDC is different. It is money issued directly by the government's central bank, the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, and it lives on a government-controlled ledger. There is no middleman. There is no bank between you and the state. The government holds the ledger. The government sees the ledger. But here's the part that almost never makes it into the mainstream coverage. A CBDC can be programmed. Programmable money means the currency itself can carry conditions. Rules built into the money that determine how, when, and where it can be spent. It could be set to expire. So you must spend it within a certain period or it disappears. It could be restricted by category, approved only for certain types of purchases, certain stores, certain regions. It could be suspended, instantly, remotely, without physical access to anything you own. This is not speculation. This is from the technical documentation of the institutions building these systems. The Bank for International Settlements, the central bank of central banks, which coordinates global monetary policy, published a report in 2023 describing programmability as a core feature, not an edge case. The People's Bank of China, which has the most advanced CBDC pilot in the world, the digital yuan, already used by hundreds of millions of people, has already tested expiry dates on stimulus payments. The European Central Bank is in the design phase of the digital euro. The Federal Reserve is conducting research. Over 130 countries, representing 98% of global GDP, are in some stage of CBDC development right now. This is not coming. For much of the world, it is already here. In 95 AD, the Roman Empire controlled commerce across the known world. Caesar's image was on the coins. You couldn't do business without participating in the imperial economic system, including its religious requirements. That was the world John was writing from. And from inside that world, he described something that would happen at a different scale entirely. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. Revelation 13:16-17, NIV. Read the structure of what John described. Not the symbol, the structure. First, it is universal. All people. Great and small, rich and poor, free and slave. Every category of person, every social class. No exemptions. Second, it is economic. The mechanism of control is not military, not political. It operates through commerce, buying and selling, the most basic human activity. Third, it is binary. You either have access or you don't. There is no partial participation, no middle ground, no opt-out that allows normal life to continue. Now compare that structure to what a fully implemented CBDC system would look like. Universal. Because digital currency replaces physical cash, participation becomes unavoidable. You cannot opt out of the monetary system and continue functioning in society. Economic. The control mechanism is not surveillance, not military force. It operates through access to money, the most basic tool of modern life. Binary. Your account either has access or it doesn't. The suspension is instant. The restoration requires compliance. I want to be precise here, because precision matters when discussing prophecy. I am not saying CBDCs are the mark of the beast. The text of Revelation involves much more than an economic system. It involves a specific figure, a specific moment in history, and a specific spiritual choice. What I am saying is this. For the first time in the 2,000-year history of this text, the infrastructure that would make it possible to control all commerce, universally, economically, and with binary precision, is not only imaginable, it is being built on a stated timeline by institutions publishing press releases about it. John wrote about a world where economic access could be centrally controlled and selectively denied based on compliance with a system. In 95 AD, that was unimaginable at global scale. In 2025, it is a policy agenda. That gap closing, that's not news. That's prophecy becoming architecture. So what do you do with this? There are two wrong responses, and one right one. The first wrong response, panic. Panic treats prophecy as if it's bad news. It isn't. Prophecy is God saying, I told you this was coming. That means I am not caught off guard. That means I have a plan. That means the people reading this text are not abandoned, they are informed. The second wrong response, detachment, treating this as purely academic. Interesting to know, nothing to do about it. Prophecy was never given so that believers could be impressed by its accuracy. It was given so that they could be prepared. There is a difference between knowing a storm is coming and walking outside with an umbrella. The right response, discernment without dependence. The early church in the Roman Empire operated under a system that also required economic participation tied to Caesar worship. They found ways to remain faithful inside a hostile economic reality, without withdrawing from society entirely, and without compromising what they believed. The letter to the Philippians was written from prison, inside the Roman imperial system, and it contains this: I have learned, in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. Philippians 4:11-12, NIV. Paul was not naive about the system he was inside. He was not passive about it. He was content, not because things were fine, but because his trust was not in the system. That is the posture this moment calls for. Eyes open, trust placed correctly, not in financial systems that can be programmed, not in governments that can flip a switch, in the one who told us this was coming and long before any central bank announced a pilot program. The system being built right now is real. The timeline is real. The policy documents are public. You don't need a prophecy teacher to tell you something is happening. You can read the BIS reports yourself. But here is what matters more than all of that. The God who inspired John to write Revelation in 95 AD, in exile, under imperial pressure, with no visible reason for hope, is the same God reading history right now. He is not watching this unfold with concern. He wrote the ending. He told his people in advance. And he told them in advance specifically so they would not be surprised, would not be afraid, and would not be unprepared. The architecture of control is new. the promise that sustains believers inside every version of that architecture, is not. Here's what I want to know from you. When you heard that money could be programmed to expire or restricted by category, what was your first reaction? Skepticism? Recognition? Something you'd already thought about but never said out loud? Leave it in the comments. The conversation below this video is part of the video. I read them. If this is the kind of content you didn't know you were looking for, that's exactly what Solomon Lens is built for. Not fear, not sensationalism. Just the lens of scripture on a world that is moving very fast and explaining itself very badly. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next episode pulls on a thread that connects to everything we've covered in these first two videos, and it starts somewhere most people would never expect.